Silicon Valley, technology, art, green, and sustainability.
Welcome to another episode of Silicon Valley Tech, Art, Green, and Sustainability. Today I have with me a guest who was one of my first guests on the show way back when we started producing this, Lori Krien, and you've had a lot of interesting things going on in your life since you came on the show. I can't even keep up with all the stuff that you do. But before we go there, will you tell us a little bit about you? Tell us a little bit about your background, a little bio, whatever you want to share.
Sure, it's great to be back, first of all. Thank you for having me on. It's really good to be back here again. So the last time I was on the show, I just started working in my studio at the Alameda Artworks, and I was doing a lot of eco-friendly artwork. This is an example of one of the pieces that I might have done before, and it's eco-friendly because it's not done on cardboard.
I don't know if they can get a close-up of that. Maybe you can hold it front and then sideways, and hold it sideways. That's awesome.
Yeah, so it's done on a piece of cardboard, which was, I found left over from, I don't know, some box. And then it's just a bunch of old paperwork in this little box, and you open the box, there's a little key in it. So so that's what I spend a lot of time doing, eco-friendly art. And so I did it in my studio. Those are green stamps.
Green stamps.
Remember those from back in the day?
Yeah.
It's a piece of lace. So I just kind of integrated a bunch of things that I found. I find at garage sales, etc. And that's what I was doing art out of. So that's how things got started with doing art. And since then, I started teaching classes, and I got my own studio, and I've got a lot of other things going on too, but that's kind of the basics.
Let's pull up that first slide that we have. It's actually us. Oh, look at this picture.
Oh my
It's so cute. With all your artwork. I love it. So that was way back when. We won't say what year. We could pull that down. So tell us a little bit more about. So you're not doing artwork now,
right?
And let's pull up one more slide, because I think the next slide is some of your other newer artwork. Or is that maybe the student that you helped?
Yes, that's a student that I helped.
And it looks a lot like some of the things you used to do, which is just incredible. And we can pull that back down.
Yeah, thank you. Well, what happened was people were seeing what I was doing and they wanted to learn how to do it. So I started having classes. And because of my background as a corporate trainer, I really found out that I loved doing the classes. So I started having
I'm going to make you laugh, because for I don't know how many years it's been now, I've been saving dryer lint. Because you used to teach people how to make paper, and if you think about it, paper is pulp. I actually got a tour of one of my friend's husband's paper plants that was in Texas, and now he's in Georgia. And literally, the machine was a mile long, and if they got one little thing in there wrong, they would ditch it. And literally, the paper was the big ream of paper was as big as this room.
Wow!
And if one little thing was wrong, they would pitch that. The newspaper print or whatever it was they were making. Yeah. And it starts with pulp, basically.
Right, that's right. Yeah, well, thanks. I'll take you up on that at some point. If I ever need to do another paper making class, I'll call you up.
I'm still going to get you to do a meetup with us sometime.
Right on. Sounds good.
But so that was paper, and what was that exactly?
Yeah, that was recycled paper and some handmade paper and eco-friendly paper and a mask. And so I had classes on how to do mask art, and it was very therapeutic for people. And as while I was doing that at the Alameda Artworks, I was working, there was a lot of other artists in that building, so there's about 35 of us. And in addition to doing classes, we also did shows together. And what happened was I found out that artists are like herding cats. They are very disorganized. They have difficulty kind of following through on commitments. They don't have like the business side of things a lot of the time. And I do. I have a background in business, and that was my undergraduate degree. So I realized that I had to help them get organized for the art shows. So I discovered that this is a really cool green thing to know about, right? So when you're doing any kind of an event, you pass around a clipboard and you have people sign up, right? And they're using all this paper. I mean, this happens at schools and everywhere, that you have a meeting and you pass around the paper. Think about how much paper we could save if we could do it online instead of handing out the paper, right, in the clipboard. So I found this online website. It's called volunteerspot.com, and I used that to organize the art shows. And it's an online calendar. It's free. and you can just set up your event on the calendar, and then you send an email to people, and they can sign up from their computers, from their smartphones. And that's what the artists did, is they were like, oh, I got an email. They click on it, they signed up to help with promotions or to help curate the show or to prepare the walls or bring the food or whatever. And then they got an email reminder right a couple days before their commitment. And so we used Volunteer Spot to coordinate the artists and to save paper. So that worked out really nicely.
So let's bring up that slide of Volunteer Spot. And I didn't make all the slides of it. Tell us a little bit about this on screen here and what this is.
Basically, I used it to organize the artists, but it's also great for schools, parent-teacher conferences, scouts, setting up popcorn sales for sports, like setting up snacks for the soccer games, concession stands. I mean, it's really art festivals. It's all the volunteers for an art festival or a film festival. It's like amazing. It can be used for anything. It's just automatic email reminders and easy to schedule, and it's just better than having clipboards.
Now, and you found out about this was someone that you worked with who was also in corporate, or how
Exactly.
did you find out about that?
Yeah, so the company was basically started by a friend of mine. We used to do corporate training together many years ago, and she started the company and asked me if I wanted to be involved, and so I kind of realized that it could be used to organize the artists, and eventually what happened was I started working for the company. So I do videos for them right now.
So I'm going to go backwards a little bit too.
Yeah.
So you were doing a TV show.
Correct.
And we met actually in the lobby here, and you were talking, I think it was Danny McGuire, saying, I don't know if I want to do one. I said, well, come on my show. And then you did, I thought you were still doing the show. So tell us about that. People can still see it on YouTube, or?
So yeah, I did the show for 2 years right here at CreaTV, and my son Jason, who was 14 at the time, was helping me with that. He's now a sophomore in college.
Wow.
Yeah. So no, that was amazing, and being on your show was what catapulted me, and like, oh, I want to do this.
Oh, it's all my fault. Thanks.
Yeah, it's all your fault. So I spent 2 years, and it was a how-to show. It was kind of like that guy that did the painting. What's his name? Bob Ross.
Yeah.
But it was for collage. So I was teaching people how to do collage on the TV show, and
if people want to see the back episodes, or are there some of it on YouTube still, or can they order copies, or?
Well, you can email me, and I can probably hook them up. I think my email would be on later.
Because what a great resource for teachers and parents that want to teach, or
have some ideas.
Anybody that's an artist that wants to learn more, because you're so wonderful at it. I mean, your work is just amazing.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So events too, you've had a lot of meetups. Now, is that part of the volunteer now, or?
So the events, I started a meetup group for the art classes, and to just get people together. I have about 360 people in the meetup now. So we get together about once a week and do various art projects.
Let's pull up one of the slides for them too.
Yeah.
So do you have 360 people that show up to all of them? So
Oh God, no.
This is one of the groups then doing some art. What are they doing here?
This is a painting workshop.
Okay.
And so what I found out was that there's a lot of painting classes out there now. They have paint night and wine and canvas and things, but it's very structured. So my workshops are have more free form to them. I want people to express themselves through the art. And I even did some meditate and create workshops. So I had people meditate for a few minutes and get in touch with their creative side, and then we did art together. So I was doing that for about a year, and it was extremely popular. I always filled up my classes, and people were getting a lot of kind of getting in touch with themselves spiritually through that. So I decided to write a book about meditation during that time. So this is this is right here.
Maybe we get a close up on it too.
So it's called Meditation in Manhattan, Finding Calm in a Chaotic World. And basically what it means is you don't always have to be in a quiet room to meditate. You can be anywhere where it's busy. You can be in the middle of Manhattan. So I actually had a meetup group in Times Square that we got together and we did meditation, and we meditated on cars and people and things that were moving, and it wasn't quiet at all, and it was really wonderful. So
it's interesting. One of the Baldwins, I think, on the Today Show a couple days ago, one of the wives is a yoga person, and they were going in all these different places and kind of doing yoga poses and relaxing and all over New York.
Really?
Isn't that interesting?
Wow.
They got the idea from you, probably.
They probably did, yeah, of course. I mean,
right? So let's pull up another slide, too.